Hey guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Try to get back to my, catch on to the schedule broadcast. Anyway, it's been a while just because mostly I've been very busy to try to put my website all together. So anyway, if any of you are interested, go check out my website, ruowen.com. I'm just trying to put everything together. So because of that, I'm pretty much a lack of sleep as well. So that's why I thought let's do a topic about sleeping. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to talk about the importance of sleep. We all know sleep is important, but let's talk about more not technical part of sleep, why it's important, but I'm gonna try to talk it in a more, psychic's perspective. Have you ever wondered why you have to sleep? Like, why you have to sleep, right? Really, because you're not really doing anything, right? You pretty much just lie there and then be a, vegetable or something, not moving, not thinking. So I believe why people who have life that's go all the time would sometimes find sleeping kind of waste of time. Or they think they don't need it, or they would push the limit for it. But throughout the years of observation, yeah, because I have that question, right? So I have to observe it. I do have a couple things that I really want to share with you guys. Have you ever wondered what we're doing when we're sleeping? Like, really, you're not really just dead, right? You're not really just doing nothing. You're actually doing something while you're sleeping, whether you are conscious, are aware of it, or not aware of it. Remember many episodes ago, like I talked to you, for a soul to get into the body, they need to rest. The reason they're sleeping is when their soul is trying to synchronize with their physical form. That's why they need a lot of sleep. So that's why I also noticed, I also mentioned to you guys in that episode, why baby require a lot of sleep. Because a soul that's wandering all the time, not quite sure what they're doing, when they're born to be a baby, right? Their soul is finding a way, try to connect with their physical form. That's why you will notice that they don't really quite know how to work their body. Or a lot of time they will look at their hand, but not quite sure what it is or how to function it. We look at them like, oh, so cute. It's cute. Or we're thinking, well, because you're a baby, that's why you don't know. The truth is, they are trying to learn or connect with this body and how to synchronize with it, right? So they can maximize it or optimize it, right? So, you might think that process stopped since as they were baby. The truth is it continue progressing because we are a new generated body every day, right? If you study science, it will tell you we continue having that cell and then creating new cell. So literally every day you are letting go something old and creating something new. So this body is always progressing. This body is always evolving, and this body is always growing. So due to that, your soul is continue have to adjust to it as well. So those kind of process usually happen during your sleeping. So also when you are throughout the day, which most likely throughout the day you live your life, you live your worry, you live your conscious life, physical and conscious life most of the time, right? You may sometimes push your soul away. Basically mean shut up, I don't want to listen to you, or you don't make sense and stop talking. We do that all the time, right? You and me, it doesn't matter how much you know. We all do that. So we will say, shut up. I need to live my life. This is more important, right? So by the end of the day, your soul need to go recharge. Recharge means literally have a conversation with your conscious saying, look, that's not nice. You know what I mean? Look, that's not nice that you keep shuffling me away. That's not nice you keep pushing me to the side. I have a saying too, because after all, it's my task, my life. This is a journey that I'm supposed to learn something. not you guys, not to prove you guys are afraid of things, not to prove you, not to validate your fear, not to validate your incapability. You know what I mean? So when I call it sleeping, what you're doing is sleeping is you actually go back to your source. Your soul actually go back to your source and then reconnect with them. So of course, a lot of people would want to know, well, how much is enough sleep? So you will have that pressures, like, let me explain first how much is the proper sleep. Proper sleep basically divide. Remember we talk about soul, body, mind, right? Soul, body, mind. So everything take about 33%, roughly 33%. I would say somewhere between 25 or 40% you are still in safe zone, because what happened is you have a big pie and you want to divide equally, right? You want to divide equally so everybody's happy. So for proper sleep, if you want to be precise, is 8 hours. Why 8 hours? You ever wonder why 8 hours? Because it takes up 1/3 of your day. 1/3 of your day, that means each part of you, your conscious, your body, or your soul will have their proper pie. Well, of course, you cannot always be precise. Oh, I didn't have 8 hours sleep. What am I going to do? I'm saying you don't really need 8 hours. Of course, some people do, some people don't. But the proper time, the range to you is somewhere between 25% to 40%, right? If you give that pie to the soul, say, look, I'm sorry, I've been mean to you during the daytime. Now it's your time, have your proper pie, have a good rest, Trust me, your soul most likely will be happy. Because they got to go back to the source. And maybe things that you don't really figure out during the daytime, you can finally go back to the source and dig out a little bit more data. So, that's why people have dream. That's why people will continue, I seem to have this deja vu dream, or I seem to dream about something that I was thinking about. Mostly it's because your soul finally go back to the source and then dig out the information for you. And then you seems to have a little bit hint, you know what I mean? Oh, I seems to get an idea how to do it better, right? So how important is sleep? Sleep is important. Because trust me, now I'm going to explain how it's going to impact a lot of things that you do while you are conscious, but you are not aware of it. So back to the percentage of sleep. If you don't get to sleep 8 hours, don't panic. Seriously, don't panic. That doesn't mean you don't get to connect with your source. You do. Let's say if one of those days that I just got so much thing to do, and all I can sleep is 4 hours, 5 hours. You can always find little thing to make up to it during the day. Such mean you could have a nap, you could have a power nap, or you could have short rest, or even the time that you're not really falling to a deep sleep, but you simply spend some time, like people meditate, or sometimes people would just be with themselves, or quiet, or simply just rest their eye, but not really sleeping. Those things, those activities that you do, basically that you are aware or not aware that you are resting your body, your mind, or even spend time with yourself. Those, believe it or not, all consider a sleeping hour. So even though you may not be sleeping, but you are actually sleeping because you are actually spending time to connect it with your soul. So aside from that, now I'm going to quickly explain how much you impact your day life. There's science study that if you continue not sleeping for 5 days, that basically mean if I force you not to sleep for 5 days, or I continue giving drug and making sure you don't sleep for 5 days, people go mental. Actually, you don't have to wait 5 days. You just have to wait somewhere around 3 days or something. You will start notice a dramatic difference. But most of people stay up late used to 1 day or 2 days, right? You don't notice much impact. Our body can function that way. Our soul, 3, as I say, 3 is a very important number. Hopefully we'll come back to this. But 3 has something to do connected to your soul. 5 has something to do connected to your physical body. So that's what I'm saying. If you continue force yourself not to sleep for 3 days, which means you continue pushing your soul not to go back to source for 3 days, you will notice you going a little bit mental, right? When you, on top of that, push it to 5. That means not only your mental, not only your soul is cannot no longer holding the weight, your physical can no longer holding the weight either. So now you would want to know how does that happen? Why, right? Because it happened since the day one. But since the first 3 days, our soul still can handle it, so we don't really quite notice. What happened is, if you notice you ever stay up late and not having a proper sleep, next day something changed. If you ever pay attention to it, something changed. Your sensation is a bit dull, right? Explanation, I'm a little bit, I didn't sleep well, so my sensation is a bit dull. So, you'll feel like your touch or people might touch you, and then you will realize that sensation is a bit off. Maybe they just touch me, but I feel so strong, or maybe they really hit me, but I don't feel anything, right? So sensation-wise, you're a little bit dull. Although your taste buds, your hearing, your sight, everything all seems like this. Before it's like perfect fit like this, right? And all of a sudden, because one day you don't have a sleep, it seems to look like this. Does that make sense to you? That is, all of a sudden your taste bud, it's not right. So all of a sudden you eat, you continue eating, but you just don't know when it's full. You know what I mean? So those are all caused because your sense, your soul is not really in sync with your body. It's a little bit off, right? So if you continue going on not sleeping for 2 days, 3 days, it would be way off. And you can really tell the difference. So why I'm explaining this to you is, I get New Year resolution, a lot of people want to lose weight. A lot of people want to lose weight. What does this have to do with losing weight? You see, if you want to lose weight, you have to take good care of yourself. To start first, before you're thinking about, I'm gonna, cut down my eating, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna do a lot of crazy things so I can drop down the number on the scale. What I'm trying to say, how about start with a good sleep? Like, not kidding. Let's start with a good sleep. To make sure you are mentally rest, to make sure you physically rest, and to make sure you have a good rest. Why? You're like, just simply sleeping, I ain't gonna lose weight, because there are a lot of people who lying on the bed all the time and they're not really losing weight. I get it. As I say, remember, refer to about 5 minutes ago. One third of your time. Anything more is like your logic. When your logic take too much percentage, you go crazy. When your heart take too much percentage, you go crazy, right? Same thing as soul. When you take too much time, you go crazy as well. So just spray the pie properly so they don't fight, right? So what I'm saying is, first, to lose weight, have a good sleep. If you don't know the percentage, as I tell you, it's somewhere between 25% to 40%. I would not push to 40 really, but I would do somewhere between 25 to 35. You got about 10% moving range. It's really, everybody's different, your preference, right? What is important of that is, when you wake up, first, you are spiritually full. Spiritually full, that means I have a good rest. I feel complete. I feel full. You know what it's like when you feel full, right? You're not hungry. When you are spiritually full, you don't feel hungry. When you are emotionally full, you are not hungry. You know what I mean? We are hungry for something other than physical. Our physical really don't need that much food. And scientists can tell you your stomach only this big, right? But what I'm saying is, if you take care of that part, hey, you take care of 1/3 of you. That's a great idea, right? So when you are eating, you will start to realize when you start eating things, you don't feel taste is a bit off because you're very in sync. If you have a good rest, then your body, your mind is very in sync. Because it's very in sync, it will no longer feel, I taste it, but I'm not sure what it is. Or I'm continuing looking for food, but I simply don't know why. Because your body don't really know. Your body needs someone to control it. Guess who's controlling it? Your soul is controlling it. So if your soul is not getting what it needs, it will continue seeking for supplement, because that's what we do. So anyway, that's why I want to talk about the importance of sleep. Why is it important? Because The rule number one, as I say, I can talk forever, but I just realized I've been talking for a long time, so I'm going to try to cut it off. Any question you can always leave on my website. I can always, enhance about it. But what I try to say is, for New Year resolution, if any of you serious, curious about having a good, that's my New Year resolution. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm not going to eat junk food. I'm not going to, do this and that. In order to do that, in order to fulfill that New Year resolution, my recommendation to you is making sure you have a good sleep. You have a quality sleep. So not to get stressed over I have to have 8 hours sleep, but making sure, your soul have 1/3 of his pie or her pie. You know what I mean? 1/3 of my pie. And then if you're not quite sure how big that pie would make your soul happy, somewhere between 25% to 35%, your soul would be happy. As I say, they don't just sleep and die dead. Oh, I'm totally useless. I could have got certain thing certain thing done. Trust me. They are doing something. You just don't know. They do go back to your source. They help you out, figure things out. Things that you're going through the day, you don't know what it is. That's why you sometimes notice when you wake up, you actually got a new idea. Sometimes you wake up, you're like, oh, things that bothered me yesterday seems to not bother me so much today, right? So how to make a sleep have a good quality? How to have good, if you understand what, I should say this. If you understand what you are really doing during your sleeping time, not just sleep, right? You really understand what you're doing here. You understand you try to reconnect with your soul. You try to get more energy. You try to, have more power or courage or things like that to move on to your day, right? So it's no longer just asleep. So because of that, you will start to realize how to prep yourself, how to prepare yourself to go to bed is important. Like you can start telling yourself, hey, it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. You don't do that, right? You were like, you know what? I'm going to calm my mind. I'm going to try to remove all the conscious out of my body. I'm going to try to let the emotional go. Because you know what? I believe when I'm sleeping, I'm going back to my source. I will start getting information that I need. Tomorrow is a brand new day to go on with my day. So if you can have that kind of mental setting, usually by the time you fall asleep, you will have better quality sleep because you are allowing your soul to do whatever they need to do. You know what I mean? So anyway, just a little bit idea for you. So don't panic if you didn't get to sleep for 8 hours. Don't freaking out. Oh my God, I only sleep for 5 hours. I did it all the time. What do? There's so many ways to make up to it. You can meditate throughout the day. You can have a power nap. You can have a quick nap, not even power nap. You can sleep 1 or 2 hours. Really up to you. Or you can, create an environment that you don't sleep, but you simply allow yourself to be with yourself, saying, I'm not sleeping, but, I'm going to have a cup of coffee and I'm going to really, really rejuvenate my soul back here. This is your time. I'm going to let go of my mind. I'm going to let go of my emotion and I'm going to reconnect with my body. Or usually if you put intention to it, you will see the difference. But for many of your New Year resolution, really try to lose weight, guys, instead of thinking about don't eat this, don't eat that, things like that. Have a good rest. Seriously, not too much rest, but have a good rest. Because only when you have a good rest, your body then will have the courage, will have all that power to move on to your day, to really believe you can do that. So not like quit easily. So anyway, as I say, I can talk forever. So I'm going to wrap this up. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or go to my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I see you guys next time. Bye.